So it's a pretty satisfying feeling to know that whether I'm here in the building or not, which generally is not, that the business is running, that it's running smoothly, that there's not fires, that the staff is operating, the members are being taken care of, the staff is earning money, the business is earning money, the business is profitable, and that's going to all happen whether I'm here or not. Hey there, welcome. Come on in. I'm David Rubin. I'm the owner of Courage Fitness Durham. Generally, I'm up right around 7, 6:45, 7. My family is usually up and out of the house long before me. My wife's a doctor at Duke here locally. She's big into fitness and exercise herself. She's more of an endurance athlete, so she runs and bikes and swims. She's typically up and out of the house by like 5:30 a.m. And then she goes straight to work after going to the gym or going to run on the trail. My son's a senior in high school. School starts early. He's out of the house usually by 6:45 or so. He drives himself to school down the road. Typically I'll have him wake me up before he leaves just to say goodbye so I can impart some wisdom on him for the day. And then it's just me in the house. So I usually get my routine started, again, usually right around 7 or so. One of the first things I usually do in the morning is check my emails and whatnot and get back to people if anything came in overnight, which isn't usually the case. And I'll hang out with the dogs, usually whip up breakfast. If it's a normal day and I'm feeling 100% healthy, I'll usually grab a workout in the garage. Come in, get ready for the rest of the day, and then it's usually up on the computer and start catching up on whatever the project is for the day. And I'll show you where 90% of the work for CFD gets done, at least on my part. This is my bonus room here, my office, my binge watching room, my exercise room. That seat right there is probably where 90% of my work gets done. Between that and the walking desk here. I mean, I used to spend significant time at the gym. I was in the gym 40, 50 hours a week. Now I'm probably there less than 5 hours a week, really. If I'm being honest, I'm probably there less than 3 hours a week.
As long as I've known Dave, so about 6 years now, he's always been in the role he's in now. So he has done a tremendous amount of work before I ever got here to put himself in a position to crush now. I would say he's been crushing for a while. He's ahead of the game for sure.
It's pretty much been upward trajectory since we started, with the exception of COVID. When that hit in March 2020, we took a massive hit, really, and that's sort of what then led us to Active Life, because I knew at that point I was going to have to rebuild the business. One way or another, we were going to rebuild to what it had been. We had been at almost 400 active members in March 2020. We were just knocking on the door. We were expecting to get there that month or the month after, and then the world shut down, and we probably lost close to 50% of our active members in the short run. And so I knew coming out of it, especially as we were getting into 2021, that the world was at least somewhat starting to open back up again locally, and we were going to have to get back to that number. And that's when Nick had, our head coach Nick had come to me and said, hey, what if we do this a different way? What if instead of rebuilding the business in terms of in volume, what if we can rebuild the business in terms of revenue and profit, but do it with fewer people, fewer members? And so that piqued my interest, and that's how we basically got hooked up with Dr. Sean, and that's how our journey with Active Life really started.
Dave sees the opportunity to both help people and, of course, generate revenue. And when those can go hand in hand, I think that's a great scenario. So he definitely was seeing, okay, what can we do for our clients on a higher level than we've been able to do now? How does that positively impact the business so that we can continue to do that forever? And so bringing that to him and saying, this is the thing that we can do, but what I also had to bring to him was, and this is how we scale it, and this is how we sell it, and this is what it brings us from a revenue perspective. was important, because if I didn't bring all that to him, probably wasn't gonna make sense to pursue anything.
The biggest, best decisions I've made is picking key staff members, because it's not all me. I mean, I've said for years, I just see myself really as like the captain of the ship, you know, and our gym, it's a big ship. It's bigger than most, you know, micro gyms in terms of volume and revenues and things. So I just see myself kind of as the captain. So standing in the wheelhouse, hands on the wheel, but my head coach, my sales manager, they're the ones who are really directing the staff, and I'm there. So if they have a problem or they need a fire put out, I can kind of help guide them, and I can help with them. We guide the strategic vision of what direction we're going to go and when we're going to turn and when we're going to head a different direction, or change directions or turn around. But they're the ones really doing the work. But that's where I've made the good decisions, and that's why I don't have to be in the gym 20 hours a week or even 10 hours a week, and certainly not 40 hours a week, is because I know my crew's got it. And if they don't got it, they know they can reach out to me and say, what do we do? Or this is what I think we need to do, what do you think? Or this is what I need, these are the tools we need, can we get them? And so I just see myself as being the one behind them to say, yeah, what do you need? What do we have to do? This is our garage, which also doubles as part of my training gym. I started Muay Thai boxing about 3 years ago, and the bug has totally bitten me. So I now train usually twice a day. I train at a local gym with coaches, and I've also started building out my garage. I think one of the things that makes us unique at our gym is we're trying to get people prepared to not just be better at exercising or better at fitness, but to actually go out in the world and be better at other things. So I actually think it's a perfect bridge. My personal journey, exercise and athletically, especially over these last 3 years, has really been influencing what we're doing at the gym, because I've kind of used myself as an example of, I don't want to just go to the gym and crush myself and leave there feeling tired and broken and sore for days. I actually want to be able to go in the gym and use it in a way that it makes me feel better and makes me better prepared for the sport that I want to participate in, because that's really where I think people's passions lie. People enjoy exercise, but really what they can enjoy is sports and hiking, and whether it's martial arts or team sports or other kind of pickup sports, and things they could do on their own outside of the gym. I mean, my work-life balance, I consider it maybe differently than some folks. I mean, I don't necessarily think of it in terms of balancing how much work I do with the rest of my life. I mean, I am always consider myself in a state of, I'm constantly working. If my phone rings, I will answer it. If an email comes in, I'm gonna answer it. My wife would probably tell you, my son would probably tell you that I work all the time. But the thing for me is, I am passionate about what I do. I don't really view my work as work, but that's taken time to get to this point. And the main reason for that is because I have a great staff that I can rely on, but I had to build that staff. I had to find that staff. We had to develop that staff. So now when it comes to work-life balance, I give the impression off that I work very little, or at least very efficiently, and I get to live the rest of my life. The truth is, I still am working a lot. I'm always on. Like I said, I'm always available to answer a call, to talk to someone on staff, or deal with a business situation. But I do it in a way that lets me enjoy the rest of my life. I can train a lot. I can hang out with friends a lot. I don't feel the pull to be tied to meetings or a desk or in a particular building at a given time because of what we've created. I could look at where we're at and say we're successful, and I could look even back at where we've been and say we were successful, but I still don't ever consider it like, okay, I'm a success now, we're done. And I don't expect that that'll ever change. But in that regard, I do see it continuing to evolve. Certain things that I still do, where I still characterize as working on the business, the marketing as an example. There's still things in the business that I can and will give up to somebody else to handle kind of day to day or week to week and month to month. So there, to where I will get to a point where I'm truly just working on vision and vision alone, and I'm not really involved at all in any of the daily execution of the vision. So we're not quite there yet, but that's at least the next benchmark that I would like to get to at some point. Welcome to Courage Fitness. This is our gym space here. We have 5,500 square feet. We have a nice lobby area and a consult room where basically people can come hang out before and after workouts and meeting. We use the consult room when we're meeting with clients one-on-one, potential clients one-on-one, and new members. This is our main training floor right here. This is where we run what we call our Courage class. We have a class going on right now. One of our all-star coaches, Keenan, running class right now. This is our main training floor. And on the back side of the gym, we kind of have it divided using the cardio equipment and some of the bumpers and whatnot, so that on the back side of the gym, we call this kind of our secondary floor, but this is really our one-to-one training space. So we got a lot of activity going on over here. This is where our coaches work with their clients one-on-one. We run some strength training and powerlifting classes over here. And this is where our members can come in and train on their own. So we have an open gym model here in addition to our group class and one-on-one training model. So this area is equipped so that if a member wants to come in and do their own thing, follow their own programming, follow their own coach's programming, they can come in and do it on this side while class is going on, and they don't disturb anybody. One of the great things that happens is when I walk in, for example, I'm in here right now, today's Wednesday. I don't think I've been here since Friday. And when I was here Friday, I probably just stopped in for a minute to drop something off. So what's a really great feeling for me is I could walk in and the gym is operating. It doesn't matter that I haven't been here for several days. I walk in, class is going on, coach is running class as if I was standing watching over him, or our head coach was watching over him. We have personal training sessions going on. We have a member even taking advantage of open gym while class is going on and personal training sessions going on. So that doesn't matter if I was here or if I wasn't here, those things are happening. So it's really comforting for me as an owner to be able to know that that's what's happening whether I'm here or not. I don't need to be here for everybody to behave themselves. I don't need to be here for members to do the right thing, and certainly I don't need to be here for our coaches to be doing the right thing. So if I can come in here and walk in the door and see class going on, coaches training people one-on-one, members taking advantage of open gym, the gym is clean, nothing looks crazy out of place, there's not some big gaping hole in the ceiling that nobody reported to me. So when I see that, and I haven't been in the gym for several days, it makes me feel, number one, like I'm obviously doing something right personally, but really more importantly, it confirms to me that I have the right people on the team. Because again, I'm not the one here doing it all. So that just confirms that I have the right head coach, I have the right sales manager, and really that we have the right coaches, period. Because everybody here takes ownership in what it is we're doing. They all know that it's not just about them and their class. It's not just about them and their client. It's not just about them and their paycheck. It's about we're building a culture and instilling a culture in everybody here that if the gym is successful, they will be more successful. I've always said to folks throughout my career, even back in the Globo Gym days, that the gym will go on. People will come and go, staff may come and go, but the gym will be there. Members will come and go, but the gym will be there. And here, we've tried to really add to that approach that really we want our staff to be here for the long term. So take ownership of it. You can treat it as if it's yours. It's still my vision ultimately, but I want you to be part of that vision because I want you to have a long-term career here, a career path, an income path, so that you can buy a new car, buy a new house, build a family, have a family. One of our coaches, Keenan, his wife is due with a baby in a few months, and he's going to be able to support that family and support his family because he's coaching here. Years ago, I thought about it in personal terms, that what can I achieve here? What can I do? How can I build the gym so that I can achieve for my family, my son's success, my son's legacy, my family's legacy? The difference in approach now over the last 12, 14 months is how can I do that still and build my family's future and legacy and so on, but how can I bring more people along with me to do it? How can I bring my head coach along to do it, my sales manager along to do it, and now let's go even a step further. How could we do it so that our coaches can be part of that? And one of the things that I've really taken an active interest in, an active effort in doing, is saying to the people who are here on staff, my head coach in particular, you do not need to feel the need, which is typical in the micro gym industry, that the only way for you to ever achieve what it is you want to achieve in this industry is to go open your own business, your own place. That does not need to be the path. And in fact, I've seen far too many people over the last 13 years that I've been in the micro gym side of the industry make that decision, and it did not go well for them. So here, I'm trying to build a place and build an environment, a working environment where my head coach doesn't ever have to feel that need. Now, if it's something he wants to do for other reasons, that's totally cool, but I don't want him to ever feel like he has to do that in order to provide for himself or his family long term. Instead, I've said, if we need to make sure that you feel like you can provide for yourself and your family long term, let's figure out how we make that happen here under the Courage banner. Let me worry about being the business owner, entrepreneur, and all the stresses that come with that, leases and legal and taxes and regulations. You worry about being what you want to be, which is a coach to coaches, a leader of coaches, a developer of coaches, a leader of clients, a developer of clients. I'll worry about all the other stuff, and you do what you love. Let me do what I love, because that's what I love. For me, fitness is a personal passion and just something I've always been interested in. And so I chose to be an entrepreneur in the fitness space. But the reality is I could be an entrepreneur in any business. I like business. I want to develop a successful business. It just so happens that I do it in fitness because that's what I like and that's what I know. I think the future for us, I'm sure there'll continue to be some ups and downs. My hope is that there'll be fewer downs than there are ups. Generally speaking, for the first 10, 11 years of our existence, it was only really ups. Had a few blips here and there, but the overall trajectory was always on an aggressive up, and we're back on that upswing. So I expect here and there a couple dips, with different COVID issues here and there, but long term, even a few years out from now, I expect us to be doing $1 million a year revenue plus, and doing it in a way where we're supporting multiple full-time staffers who are earning full-time incomes and able to provide for their families. And I'm able to continue to provide for mine.
So we definitely had success before. We had been able to create best ever revenue numbers in a year. In 2019, we were absolutely what we would consider crushing and dominating. We were doing a great job. We were doing that with a level of clientele, a number of clientele that I think we all agreed probably wasn't sustainable. There were things that were going on that were beginning to cost us more than they were making us. And so one of the things that we were able to look at with this was, could we return, and this is post-COVID, could we return to levels of success on the revenue side and on the client fulfillment side and have fewer clients? If we did that, could we also generate careers and positions for coaches so that we didn't have to have the constant in and out with part-time coaches that we would currently been struggling with, just like everybody else?
And that was really the big pivot, the big decision that we made in joining Active Life, which is, if we're going to go this route, what it means is we can have fewer members, but we're going to be more of a premium service, and we're going to provide that service, but we're going to charge accordingly for it. Working with Active Life has helped us say, this is the problem we solve for the marketplace. This is the problem we solve for our customers. So if I was going to boil it down, that would be the one primary thing. Now, there's other things obviously that come along with that. They're helping us fulfill on that promise as well. And generally speaking, the problem that people in the market want solved is not just a place to work out, but they want someone to help them achieve what it is they want to achieve. Our coaches are spending a lot of time internally and then externally, in partnership with Active Life, to learn how to better communicate to potential clients also to their existing clients, what it is they are going to be able to do for that potential client, what it is they are doing for that existing client to help that person achieve what it is they want to achieve. So really it comes down to our coaches are learning to be better communicators and better salespeople. One of the things that's attractive about working with Active Life is the community of owners that are in the Active Life program. For me, a lot of the value in being part of that community is learning not just from the staff at Active Life, the SMEs at Active Life, but in learning from other owners who are like-minded or want to be like-minded as me. People who see their business as a business, people who are willing to look at their business outside of the box, people who are looking to develop career paths for coaches and so on. So I take a lot of value and see a lot of value in the other owners who are in the program.
So now at the gym now, after being with Active Life for a little over a year, our actual Pro Pass start date is in February, so under a year still. We are about 100 fewer members than we had pre-COVID, and we're beginning to match all-time revenue numbers. With those new all-time, or matching those revenue numbers, we also have 5 full-time coaches who coach between 4 and 6 classes a week, and they all have 12 to 15 one-on-one sessions per week. And so we have sustainable, fulfilled coaches who are here for the long haul.
The long-term health of the business is me, my family, my son, my family's legacy, our future, and then the future of the people who work here, so that they know they don't have to worry about, their incomes down the road or whether or not the gym exists down the road.
Good question. I don't know that there is a typical day. Every day is kind of different, but these guys are usually out of the house before I even wake up. She's out of the house to work out, crack of dawn. He's off to school. He's able to drive himself to school now. So usually he's the one waking me up as he's leaving for the day. And then generally we're kind of reconvening after we've all, been out for school and practice and work or whatever it is I do. And we're usually reconnecting around dinner time. We don't always have dinner together, but we try to have dinner together as much as we can, and usually dinner's sitting around here at the TV, nothing formal, but trying to catch up on each other's days as best we can. And then usually we then separate. This guy's got homework, she has homework she brings home, and usually I'll do homework and go back upstairs to my office.
He came down here with nothing. He came down here because I forced him to come down here. I said, I'm getting a job in Duke and you can come with me. And so he had no job prospects, and he came here and he found this gym. He was a coach, and then talked to the owner and became the co-owner, and then he went back into the military, and then he took it all over. And this was like a tiny little gym, and he just expanded it into this amazing business. And so he never did business school. College, I guess exercise science was helpful, but that didn't teach him for what he needed to do. And so he learned by doing, YouTube videos, and he learned how to do this on the fly, which is amazing.
I made the conscious decision that I am not going to just go get another job in the fitness industry and continue on the path that I had been on, because I didn't want to be on that path. So because of that, and because of her job situation and what it was going to be able to afford us lifestyle wise, it gave me the flexibility to be able to take that chance and say, I'm not going to just go to work for somebody. I'm going to try to plan out to do my own thing and eventually build what we've built now, although I didn't envision this being the outcome. But so I had several months where I was able to explore and see where that road might go and where it might lead to, and it led to the gym, which now it's grown to the gym that it is today.
I'm David Rubin. I'm the owner of Courage Fitness Durham.